Alright, so for my first review that I did for the original Stepfather. So decided to also hadn't seen the second one, so I decided to pick that up and see what it was like. So for this one, we're gonna do the Stepfather 2. Make room for Daddy. This was released by Synapse, which I love Synapse. Synapse has brought me great DVDs for my collection. Love a lot. They did make some interesting choices for the cover and the credits that they give some of these people. Terry O'Quinn comes back as Jerry Blake, aka or slash Gene, as he plays Gene when he gets to his new family in this film. It also has a Meg Foster from They Live, who I gotta say, man, in this movie, it took me a while to get to not stare at her while I was watching it because either either she has the craziest natural eyes I've ever seen. They're like this. They almost look like a husky's, the dog with that like frosty blue eye. It looks fake, or she's wearing some crazy contacts. In the beginning of the movie, man, it is creepy as hell, and I couldn't stop. That was the only thing when she was talking that I could look at was her. I was like, "That's fucking real. This can't be real." Anyway, and Caroline Williams, and we all know Caroline Williams from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Uh, but here they put, well, you probably can't see it, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. That's what they credit her for. And she was in that movie like 2 seconds. Like she wasn't even, she was barely in it. I don't know if they're trying to like market this to like audiences that don't know about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, hoping to get like the Rob Zombie audience or what, I don't know. But that just seems strange to me. Oh, and also Jonathan Brandis, who was in It and Sidekicks and Ladybugs and whatnot. They have him credited here for Heart's War, which I've seen Heart's War, and I picked this up and I'm like, Heart's War? I don't remember him in Heart's War. I looked it up on IMDb. They deleted all his scenes. His scenes were deleted. He didn't even show up in the final film. So if you've ever seen Heart's War and you're going, where's Jonathan Brandis? Well, he's not in there because all his scenes got cut. So why they didn't put it on here, I don't know. But anyway, so in this one, Terry O'Quinn Jerry Blake, played by Terry O'Quinn, had been caught. He survived, I guess, the stab wound in the end of the other movie, and he was put in an insane asylum. Well, he escapes and finds himself a new family with Meg Foster being the mother and Jonathan Brandis, her little son. And he disguises himself as what he says is a family therapist. Caroline Williams plays her friend. Kind of the same thing happens. People start disappearing, and the friend this time, who's played by Caroline Williams again, I don't know why I told you that again. I've already told you like 3 times. She starts getting suspicious. Well, she's a postal worker. She starts going through his mail, starts trying to warn. Of course, nobody listens, and it just goes from bad to worse. Overall, though, I got to tell you, there were some times I'm watching this movie and I'm thinking, I feel like I'm watching a Lifetime movie. That may sound unbelievable, but it really, like, they almost played him, they almost wrote him. I guess I would consider this to be the writer's fault. They almost wrote him as kind of, I don't know. In the first one, he was a psychopath, in control of everything, uh, scary. In this one, he's like kind of, he seems unsure of himself. I don't know if they're trying to do that because he got caught. I'm not sure. So maybe now he's unsure of himself, and he just seems a little bit weaker and a little bit sadder as a human being. I don't know. Just it seemed like it was playing out like an after-school special gone wrong or a Lifetime movie. I don't know. I gotta say, I didn't really enjoy the movie. The only thing it has going for it is Terry O'Quinn, who plays the role, again, wonderfully, and Caroline Williams. Other than that, I didn't really care for it. It just, like I said, it plays out kind of like a Lifetime movie. You don't really get some of the kills are very weak. Now, one of the kills I found out later after watching one of the features on here that when well, I won't say who. There's somebody that dies, they're strangled, and you don't see his face at all. You hear him talking, but you don't see his face. I'm wondering, well, why didn't they show his face? Well, that's because that's not the original way that that character was supposed to die. But the company, who it was actually picked up by, ended up being picked up by Miramax, I think. It was in their beginning stages of that company. Decided that it wasn't violent enough, and they needed a more violent death. But so they had somebody, they had this person come back in, and they had somebody else play Jerry Blake or Gene in this movie, his character. Um, Features wise on the disc, there is a commentary with director Jeff Burr and producer Darren Scott. The featurette that I was talking about, Stepfather Chronicles, um, Daddy's New Home. There's some deleted alternate scenes with commentary, a still gallery, and some theatrical trailers. I would say skip it. If you can rent it, don't buy it. Uh, but overall, not awful, but just not a real strong follow up to the original. Surprise, surprise. But anyway, next time, see you next time.